Welcome back to Third Phase of Moon. My name is Blake Cousins, and I'm bringing to you breaking news right out of Venezuela. President Hugo Chavez, the populist who declared the socialist revolution in Venezuela, has just died at age 58. You know, the U.S. has been spying on him. There's been UFO sightings over Venezuela for many years. We have special Dr. Johnny Elias as our correspondent right from Arizona here with us at Third Phase of Moon. Thanks for joining us for this breaking news, John.
Anytime, Blake, anytime.
Okay, so what do you think about this, the dictator? Some people don't claim he's a dictator. Do you think there's a possible CIA giving him cancer?
Let me start with two things. First of all, Hugo Chavez has been a hell of a threat to this country from day one. He had never, ever hesitated to step up and be a vocal person against all our values and everything we have to this country. Second, Fidel Castro. The U.S. government, the CIA, sent down the mob. They even went as far as to trying to get an exploding cigar in his mouth. They even went as far as to trying to drugging him with LSD on a radio show. So I would not be surprised if we are responsible for Hugo Chavez's death. I mean, it just makes sense.
Do you think
3 years old, the leader of a country, honestly, he doesn't have the top of the world care there? Of course, it makes perfect sense. There has to be a conspiracy involving around the two. He's too young to have died naturally.
So basically, what do you think about, disclosure now out of Venezuela that he's going to be out? Who's coming in? Do we have any idea who's going to be the next president of Venezuela?
Honestly, that I don't know, but what I do know is that we step in as a U.S. every time someone passes to go in and try to put a dictator. Look what happened in Egypt. We put in a CSUN professor, California State University, Northridge. He is now the leader of Egypt. Gaddafi, we put him in place. We helped him get in place. We put our Saddam in power. I mean, I would not be surprised if we put someone else in power in Venezuela. This would just be along with what we've been doing for the last 100 years, 80 years.
So do you think with this event that happened just, a few hours ago, is it going to be positive or negative for the U.S. and, people in regards to the UFO phenomenon and everything else for that matter?
Well, it could be positive, it could be negative. It could be positive if we step in and, well, that's the thing. If the U.S. steps in, because the U.S. is obviously withholding disclosure, but if the U.S. steps in and puts someone else in place there, then they're going to be our little puppet. However, Hugo Chavez was a good friend with Fidel Castro and Raul Castro, and so now Raul Castro's running Cuba. I wouldn't be surprised if they have a little communist friend over there to help them get someone else to stay a communist state. Nonetheless, they are second, third world country. I don't know how you want to argue which one of the two they are, but they're definitely not top, first world, that's for sure. And therefore, I wouldn't be surprised if they can't cover up their UFO sightings. Maybe as a threat to the U.S., they would release their files just to say, screw you.
Wow, I really appreciate your insight on this breaking news matter, Dr. Johnny Elias. What have you learned from when you were over there at the Congress right before this happened? What was the most intriguing thing in Arizona that you came away with in regards to the UFOs? Did you learn anything, see anything that you've never seen before?
Honestly, some of the same old lectures. John Greenwald Jr. was one of the speakers, and he does the blackvault.com, where he basically does freedom of information requests, and he keeps getting files from the FBI, CIA, NSA, and he proved that as recently as 2010 that the U.S. Air Force is still involved in investigating, even though they claim in 1969 they shut that down. So that's what I learned. But everything else was kind of disclosures on the tip of the iceberg. This is going to happen. But I'll tell you what I learned from the non-speakers. There are a lot of people experiencing things and a lot of people seeing things in the sky. I couldn't, as you sent me there as your correspondent, people were coming to me left and right and telling me, hey, let me tell you what I saw. Let me tell you what I've been through. And I've heard a story after story after story, and a lot of them sounded legitimate, Blake.
Wow, and we did post some of this video on Third Phase of Moon, and hopefully in the future we'll be working with you, working on documentaries, speaking to people that had eyewitness testimony and on the ground video and interviews, right, John?
Oh, you know we will. I made sure I came away with those people's contacts.
All right, that was Dr. J. Elias joining us right here at Third Phase of Moon for breaking news right out of Venezuela. Hugo Chavez dies at 58. Could it have been U.S. involvement? Who knows? But it's a good day, we think, right here at Third Phase of Moon. With friends like Fidel Castro and stuff like this, these guys aren't the good guys. They need to go. My name's Blake Cousins, and if you've captured anything amazing, send it to us at Third Phase of Moon. We'll see you again next time.